As we enter into the 1960s, we get the story of 101 Dalmatians from Walt Disney Animation. This is a story about a mother and father dogs coming together to save their litter from, of course, a evil woman named Cruella who wants to make their fur into coats. It's kind of sick when you think about it, but we're going to talk about this movie right now. Hey friends, welcome to Disney Pastor. I'm your host Tim. I talk all things Disney, which includes Walt Disney Animation. Join me down in the comments below as we talk all things 101 Dalmatians there. I'm going to talk about the good, the average, and the bad of this review, give my final thoughts and rating. Without further ado, let's dive on in.
Ooh, that's good.
Of course, we're going to start, as we've started most reviews here, is going to be the animation. This one's a little bit different though. They changed the style up a little bit. The backgrounds here are very much just kind of a plain color in most cases, with a few different things here and there. But of course, the other thing to note here is that it's more stencilized. What I mean by that is you can see kind of where the artists have drawn the lines a little bit. It's not as clean as, say, our last one, which of course was Sleeping Beauty, but it is of course one that is definitely a unique look, and Walt Disney Animation is going to keep this for a few years, till pretty much The Little Mermaid. It is pretty solid here, and I think it lends well with the story that is being told here. And speaking of the story, it's pretty easy to follow. It's a fun journey that we see with these characters, and it is something, again, very unique, very different. You take a look at really just the last several Walt Disney animated movies, they've all been kind of fairy tale related. This one is a little more grounded, although it does have, of course, some fantastical elements within it, but it is fairly easy to follow, fairly straightforward, and overall just done quite well. Speaking of done quite well, we once again hit another homer on Disney villains. Now, of course, I mentioned with Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent up the standard of Disney villains. We continue that trend with, of course,
Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil.
She is mean and nasty and someone you don't really want to mess with. Plus, at the same time, she's very exaggerated, very sly and sneaky. I mean, her plan is very, very not good and downright nasty. But that, of course, adds to the character and the lovability of this particular Disney villain. And of course, accompanying her is the song Cruella de Vil, which honestly is a really solid song. While the rest of kind of the music for this one in particular isn't the movie's strong suit, this song in particular is another absolute classic. Definitely wouldn't say it's the best Disney villain song, because there are a few others and we'll see that in the Renaissance era, but it is definitely one of the more stronger ones, and it is done very solid. And also just that sequence too of how Roger comes up with the song is just, it's so well done and just an enjoyable sequence, a part of this movie.
Something good, something bad, bit of both.
And it's going to be our side characters here. Roger and Anita are pretty decent human characters. Cruella de Vil is definitely the standout here. And of course, Pongo and Perdita, the two dogs, our two leading dogs here, are also pretty good as well. But our side characters are definitely, I'd say, hit or miss. Sergeant Tibbs, which of course is the cat, is pretty good. The Colonel's all right. And Horace and Jasper, they're okay henchmen. I mean, that is part of their job, is they're kind of bumbling idiots, so to speak. But they're decent characters. They're nothing like, I'd say, as memorable as some other henchmen or some other side characters in Disney movies, but they are still pretty fun. They, of course, are very influential in the story. I mean, especially Horace and Jasper, they're the ones who, of course, kidnap the puppies. Sergeant Tibbs is the one who helps save the puppies out of the DeVille place. So there's a lot of, those things going on here. They're important to the story, but again, like I said, especially when it comes to like Sergeant Tibbs and the Colonel, they're not memorable, serviceable, but not shining stars. Before I move on to the bad and my final thoughts, question of the day is this: who is your favorite character from, of course, 101 Dalmatians. I would love to know down in the comments below, are you a fan of Pongo or Perdita or any of the other dogs? Are you a fan of any of the human characters, like, of course, Roger, Anita? Maybe you're a Cruella de Vil fan. I don't know. With that being said, let me know your thoughts down below. Let's wrap this up.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Now, for me personally, I don't necessarily have anything big that I would say is a complaint for this movie. It's done very solidly. The one thing I will say, if I have anything to kind of little bit gripe on, is that the beginning of the movie can feel very slow. Obviously, the first 5 minutes are to set up how Pongo, Perdita, Anita, Roger, how they all get together and become one big happy family, and it's done fine. Is this a necessary scene? Maybe not. It's a fun sequence, but it's not the most necessary because it's not the pivotal part of the story. But from that moment until, like, the puppies are stolen can feel quite long. It was cut a little bit shorter. I think it would have been a-okay. But again, it doesn't, like, hinder the story in any way, and that's a big plus.
And so our journey comes to an end.
Overall, this movie is another solid Walt Disney animated movie. The Silver Era is without a doubt one of the best Disney eras, and this is once again why. Great storytelling, really good animation, characters that are memorable, well, for the most part, and of course, just really solid movies. And this one, of course, is a part of that category. We get a lot of things to really enjoy about this one. It's unique and different. It also, of course, sets a little bit of the rest of the 60s and 70s and even part of the 80s in terms of how animation is presented for the Disney company over the next essentially almost 30 years. I really enjoy this one, and I know a lot of you do too. This is a fun one, and I give it a 8.4 out of 10 with a fun factor of an A-. It's enjoyable, it's fun, it's a really solid movie. If you've not seen it in a bit, it is of course available on Disney Plus. Check it out there. With that being said, I want to say thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Join me down in the comments below as we talk all things 101. Maybe answer the question of the day. Talk to me about your favorite moments of the movie. Whatever you want to do. Let's talk 101 Dalmatians down below. If you enjoyed this video, please get a big thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Helps me know what you like, what you don't like. And if you're new around here, I want to say a special welcome to you. Be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell to be notified for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. I truly appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Goodbye.